This my two Satoshis, this my two Satoshis. Who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis? Yeah, this my two Satoshis, this my two Satoshis. Tune in and get the latest and greatest from stacking Toshis.
Hola, hola, and buenos dias, GNGs. I am Trek with 2Ks, and this is my two Satoshis, brought to you here on Crypto Blood TV. And if you don't know, I'm about to tell you how it goes. The basic idea is I cover some crypto stories and then I cover some non-crypto stories. And the non-crypto story stuff is like what comes across my radar and has my interest. And I'm not gonna lie, some things might not relate to you, some things will relate to you, but you just might not know how they relate to you. And so that's why I share these things. That's why I throw out my two Satoshis on these things. But before I jump into those, I just want to say thank you for all the folks who leave comments. Thank you for all the folks who give thumbs up. Thank you for all the folks who share, and a special thanks. Like, I appreciate you scammer folks, right? But like, I know that's X amount of automation, so y'all ain't really working per se. But I appreciate the troll folks who will come back and watch these videos every time. Why? Because when we look at the numbers on the back end, we see what the view count look like, we see what the regions and the metrics and stuff like that are. So we know y'all are there. Thank you. We do appreciate you. I especially appreciate you because that means y'all are interested. So I'm not just like talking BS. Well, it's not that I'm not talking BS because I do throw shade at certain things. But nonetheless, I appreciate y'all. Thank you. All right. Now let's jump into this first story here, which when I saw it, I was just like, wait, what happened? So U.S. state outlaws up close filming of cops. Now, at first read, I was just like, oh, so we can't record cops altogether? Even though, what is that, federal law, I think through the Supreme Court side of it, already says, yes, you can film police activity. So now the caveat here for Arizona is they are saying, hey, we don't want you to be within a certain distance of law enforcement when they're conducting, what do they call it, lawful police actions. So basically, if they're questioning someone, if they're arresting someone, if there's some kind of illegal activity going on and they're there. Now, here's where my mind instantly ran for how it's one thing to say, hey, we have the intention of what this law is supposed to do within the four corners of the document it's written on, right? Now let's talk about how it's gonna work in practicality on ground. In my mind, let's say you have a protest situation. Things start to get kooky, right? It has been shown that you will have people go and intentionally agitate protesters, law enforcement, whoever is on whatever side they're on, intentionally to make chaos. Once the situation escalates to that level, where did the law of you can't record stop and start? That's just me and how I'm thinking of things. Nonetheless, though, they break down some of the stuff here. So set to take effect in September. That's here in 2022. This is in particular for the state of Arizona. This is an national thing. Knowingly making a video recording of law enforcement activity from closer than 8 feet, though violators will be allowed one warning before they are penalized. Now, most folks suck at measuring things off of eye distance. So that's another thing that's going to be interesting. Because remember when we had the whole C19 and you had to be a certain distance from one another? And like, I've been to places where it was literally just 2 feet of marked out space. And then I've been to other places where you're like, yo, this is 10 feet apart. Is this too far? Now you're talking about being able to eyeball it in real time while the situation is happening. Okay, second sentence goes, the new law has several caveats, however, as it permits individuals who are themselves subject to police questioning to film at a closer distance, as well as those in vehicles during traffic stops and other smaller enclosed spaces on private property. So as long as they do not interfere with lawful police action. Again, I just gave you a couple of scenarios where it's one thing that you say this on paper, it's another thing for what it's actually going to play out like in real world. Okay. And if you're not paying attention for X amount of Main Street, we're seeing inflation. We're seeing things happen overseas in other countries, right? Farmers are protesting. Governments are having issue with supplying things for their people. So they're totally just locking stuff down, closing schools and stuff like that. I say all of this to say, I would imagine other cities or states will try to do something similar to this, but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out down the road when things become a little bit more chaotic and unstable here in the States because of how the recession and moving towards probably a bigger depression thing is going to play out. That's at least my thought process. Not saying I'm a forecaster and can tell the future. I just know that things like this make for a crazy cocktail mixture when you put people involved in it. That's it. Jumping on to this next story. Crypto story as it is, this one got me because JP Morgan lost 3 execs to crypto firms this week despite crypto winter. Again, this is technically the second week of crypto that this particular story came out. And yeah, it is definitely notable for, I don't necessarily know who the people are, but this first guy, Eric Raggi, he was at JP Morgan for 21 years, from 2020 to now. And your man was just like, all right, I'm out. I'm about to go move over to this and have a whole new career thing. But this is what I'm talking about. Let me get close on this one. This is what I'm talking about as far as that traditional Wall Street mentality moving over into the space. And the other thing to note about this is they're talking about who moved where. So this dude, what's his name? Eric, he moved over to Algorand, which is also interesting to me because Algorand was also in a report that got put out by Chainalysis that was used for one of the financial hearings in Congress. And so I find that kind of interesting. That's the direction he moved, only because I heard about the mention of Algorand in that report. So I'm like, you got the former JP Morgan guy, it's Algorand, and it was put in the light of Algorand is looking to move X amount more with the institutional level folks. I don't know, there might be some moves coming out this decade. I'm not a financial advisor in any which what way. I'm just seeing certain things and it seems like certain dots connect. Just saying. Now, the other name on here was Pooja Samuel. I'm sorry. I was looking at her LinkedIn thing. She looks mad young and she's only been in this position for 3 years, but I don't even know what ideation and digestion. I'm so messing that up. I don't know what that executive position person would do or what that even department or section did, but she did it for 3 years. She got her who to who as far as the networking done. And then she moved over to the crypto based venture capital firm called Digital Currency Group, and she's the head of corporate adoption. Oh, by the way, Eric, he is the global head of business development and capital markets. So understand, this is a lot of financial industry level moves. This isn't tech moves. This isn't about technology as the innovation. This is about new types of, hey, how do we make these partnerships and newer type of financial instruments? That's what's going on here. Last name, what's the other person? Samar Shah. I know I'm saying the name wrong. I apologize. No disrespect. So he left JP Morgan. He joined, American hedge fund Terra Capital as chief operating officer. He'll probably do like 3, maybe 5 years there. And then he might either move over to go start his own thing, or he's gonna jump to a bigger pool of money. That's it. That's the bottom line of it. These folks are moving in place because the crypto thing is gonna be here and they're positioning themselves. Y'all can dig into this more if you want to, because the link for this will be in the description. If you think I'm talking out my ass, hey, guess what? The comments are open all day. We don't delete nothing. So please say something.
Okay, guys, before moving on to the next article for today's episode, I do want to bring your attention to Margex, which is a Bitcoin-based multi-asset trading platform. Earn profits by opening long and short positions, even in falling markets. So you guys know a lot of traders are losing money right now in this bear market. The cryptocurrency market is unpredictable and the bear market could win over the bulls. Who knows? But how can you profit from this bear market? Well, trading on platforms like Margex. Diversifying your trading strategy by utilizing long and short positions. And to make sure that's even more of a success, you need to sign up for the Bloodalytics Trend Signal service at bloodalytics.com. Link in the description below for that. But with Margex, you can trade Bitcoin and other top cryptocurrencies, available up to 100x. No KYC. Let me repeat, no KYC. Margex has been nominated by Finance Magnets as the most user-friendly trading platform. They also have this killer MP Shield feature, a system that protects traders from liquidity and price manipulation. And one additional feature that's dope, Margex gives you the exclusive bonus to try leverage trading without any risk involved. So if you sign up today, only takes a couple of minutes using the link in the description of this video. Hit the wallet section and enter the promo code CBTV100 and you get $100 for free to start trading without even investing any of your own cash. Every trader has access to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, EOS, ADA, and many others with up to 100x leverage. Minimum deposit is only $10. and the minimum trade size is $1. Use leverage responsibly. It does involve risk. That's why you can trade with small amounts if you don't feel confident enough. So again, you can get $100 free right now today without depositing any money by using the promo code CBTV100. This offer is available until August 31st, so take advantage of it today. Let's get back to the show.
All right, moving on to this next one. This next one I meant to talk about a while ago, and I didn't hit it because of just, it was X amount of things going on. This is for Web3 advocates are cautiously welcoming Europe's new law, but must first resolve its paradoxes. And this is about the MiCA, which is what the EU is doing for how they're looking at digital assets. So that's stable coins, that's cryptocurrencies, that's NFTs, and things along that nature. The funny thing about this is they're doing it ignorant. I mean, let me get up close and say this to y'all. This is the same issue that we're having here in the States. They're making these rules and writing it in ways ignorant of the technical function of the technology and its level of distribution. It isn't about whether I'm a banker and I have access to $300 million, or I'm a super techie Microsoft employee, or I'm the 6-year-old who knows how to do click or swipe, swipe, swipe. All right, so the thing here to understand is this is them making policies and rules being ignorant of the distribution and accessibility of the technology. So how do you put a 6-year-old who mints an NFT on whatever streamlined app that's out there in the same pool as the Nike's NFT department? Like, they're on two different levels. Granted, they're using the technology, they're using the same technology, but their use case, their intention, their agenda, two different things going on there per se. Yeah, you know, the kid wants to sell the stuff. Yeah, but Nike has the marketing thing that they're looking at as far as market sectors, and is a whole other level to it, is my point. Now, that's not the only thing too. The other thing to note here is that they didn't initially finalize what the language would be. But there were certain issues like, how are we looking at stable coins for how are you backing it to real world collateral? What does this mean for things like DAI? What does this mean for the other digital stable coins that are gonna come out later on in this decade? If you think Terra Luna was the only thing, no way. Like, we will be down this road again of someone looking to make another stable coin that's based on algos, or as they call it, algorithmic stable coins. And then again, getting into this whole thing with NFTs and what that means, how do we regulate it? At the current time right now, they're like, hey, we're gonna make the NFT stuff exempt, which is funny on how they were phrasing it out, at least within this article. And not every country is going to agree on the same type of jurisdictional controls. But nonetheless, the point being is, how are they going to regulate the things? I would argue ignoring the technology side of it and just going after the use case that fits similar to traditional finance. It doesn't work if you don't do anything to stop the technology and people are still going to innovate and use it how they're going to want to use it. That's at least my logic on the whole thing, but nonetheless, I know other folks have different opinions. And so, yes, using the law to be able to curtail the distribution and innovation of cryptocurrency is going to be a thing. We understand that. That's the other part of it. So anywho, the link for this is in the description, so you can follow up and deep dive on it. I do highly encourage those of you who are looking to make bigger international moves in your travels. This might be something you want to look into. Just saying, you don't have to, but you might want to. All right, closing it out. Oh, we still have some Oculus hard wallets to give out, but you got to tap in on the live streams and be a member for those. All right, finally, I'm done. This is my two Satoshis. I am Trek with 2Ks. This is CBTV. Until the next one, one.
I ain't telling no lies, I just